I'm Father Mike Dekowitz, the Director of the Addiction Recovery Ministry. Every Monday at 1 o'clock, we spend a few moments looking at issues surrounding addiction and recovery. For the past several weeks, we've been looking at the 12 steps. Today is the 12th week, and we'll look at step 12. Step 12 says, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. I'd like to break this step down into 3 sections. 1, having had a spiritual awakening. 2, carrying the message. 3, practicing these principles in all of our affairs. That idea of spiritual awakening, that idea can be really frightening. It's vague. It can be intimidating, and it can also be a source of resentment. Because when many people come into the program, they have struggled with their own spirituality, their own faith, their own religion. It can be frightening also because people are saying, I didn't come to AA or NA to be a monk. I'm not a religious fanatic. I don't have visions. Miracles don't happen all around me. I don't live in the crowds. So what? What is this spiritual awakening? What is this spiritual experience all about? And for every person, the definition is different. It can simply be a sense of peace, a sense of acceptance. It can be the realization of God's presence. It can be learning to accept ourselves as we are. It can be a growth in tolerance and empathy. It can be learning to love and accept ourselves. In the 12 and 12 book, it says, the commonality of spiritual awakening is that the person has become able to do, to feel, and believe that which they could not do before. They can do now. Now that person can live a life, not endure a life. That person can live life on life's terms, seeing the blessing and gift in each day, in each moment, each relationship of each day. I kind of think the best way to describe a spiritual awakening is right-sizing ourselves. It's just right-sizing ourselves, seeing ourselves as we are and how we fit in the universe. The second part is carry the message. That reminds me of an understanding that a gift. What is a gift? Unless a gift is given away, it's not a gift. It's a possession. A gift is something we give away. And when we give it away, we relinquish control of what we give away. That, I think, is what is meant by this section of step 12. That by working the steps, by going to meetings, by having a home group, a sponsor, by working on honesty and humility, on responsibility, allowing yourself to uncover the mystery and the miracle that is recovery, and the paradise that's sobriety. That's the gift. That's the great gift you are given. That's not your possession. It must be shared. You simply cannot keep it to yourself. You will suffocate the gift. It's like, when something wonderful happens in your life, you have to share it. You can't wait to share your joy with other people. Half the joy in experiencing something wonderful is in sharing it. That's why when someone gets engaged, they show when they ring, they want to share their joy. Or we send out birth announcements. We want to share your joy. Sharing the experience of recovery is essential for you, but vital for those who are seeking sobriety. You can bring to them a message of hope. You can be an ambassador of hope. So, carry the message. Practice these principles in all of our affairs. Now, in this part of step 12, Now it's time to not just work the steps, but to also to live the steps. To take what we have learned and to integrate that into our life. Life is going to go on. You won't live in a paradise. You will still have to handle all the situations that life brings in your path. You are still, like all people, fragile and broken. You're living your life the best you can now with the assistance of these 12 steps. The difference now is that you're living sober. You're not alone or isolated. You're a part of a fellowship. You're being honest with yourself. You're being authentic about who you are. You're accepting your truth. Live. Live in the knowledge of God's love for you. Don't be afraid. Be filled with hope. Accepting accountability and responsibility for your attitudes, your choices, your actions. Grow in courage. Grow in humility. Be less selfish, more selfless. Spending not just your time and your treasures, but spending your very person in service, especially in service to the addict or alcoholic who still suffers. Embrace your call to be an ambassador of hope. Right size yourself. These 12 steps are not just about sobriety. These 12 steps are truly a way of life. Now, starting next week, we're going to look at the 12 traditions. Have a good week. God bless you. Let us close by together praying the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Goodbye. God bless.